Hello and welcome to the Games4all podcast, episode 17. Once again, I am your host, James Craig, and I'm joined, as always, by my good friend...
Dan Young, hello.
Musical butt trumpeter.
What? I never approved this.
You don't have to.
Okay.
I'm hosting. My rules.
Alright, well done. You hosted a show last week.
Last week, I did indeed.
You did quite a good job, so we figured, hey, why not try it again? So
we're
going to alternate.
You kind of had your hands full editing yesterday's show.
Yes, I did a bit. So you've kind of put today's show together, which is been quite welcomed. You know, that I didn't have to do it last week, and the only show I've really had to put together was the Halo one.
So you're stuck with me, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that.
Worth noting, though, that the Halo episode that went out yesterday has received a record-breaking number of downloads for a first day.
Cool.
Show.
How many is record-breaking?
I can't say.
Can't or won't?
Won't.
Okay. It was good, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
People downloaded it, let's just say. So thank you for downloading. We just kind of, said what we felt. And some people won't like what we had to say. Some people probably won't like how the show turned out. But, whatever.
Well, let's carry on with today's show anyway.
Indeed.
We'll start off with what we've been playing. I've not been playing very much myself.
Okay,
pretty much Mass Effect.
All right.
That's it. Oh, I did try out that Epic Citadel demo.
Oh, yeah,
on the
yeah.
iPhone.
Yeah, how did that work out?
Quite impressive, actually.
Cool.
Obviously, it's not got the same sort of level of detail and flair as like Gears of War 2 or any of the other Unreal Engine games on the bigger consoles, but considering the size of the iPhone, what it's on, and sort of the graphical abilities of it, pretty damn impressive.
Well, I did get to see a little bit of this running, and I have to say I was actually quite impressed as well.
Yeah, I mean,
it was way better. I've heard a few things about it, but until you check it out, you just don't know how good it looks. And I agree, it's not, it doesn't look as good as a 360 game or a PS3 game, but you don't expect it to. It's on a handheld phone or whatever. So
yeah, it looks much better than most handheld games.
Exactly. So that's good stuff.
I will say you don't actually do a lot in it. I think there's like a castle.
It's
and
not really a game, is it?
No, it's just walk around. Yeah, it is a tech demo, but it's a good sign of things to come.
Yeah, excellent.
Okay then, what have you been playing?
Okay, let's start at the top of the list. I played some demos and stuff.
Yeah.
Over the weekend.
Played one today as well.
Yeah, played one today as well. Well, let's start out with. I played DJ Hero 2.
Yeah.
Demo for that went up online. That's okay. Sort of more of the same a little bit, but there's a few things they've thrown in there that are a little bit different, and you can have a microphone as well. It's alright. I mean, the demo only had 2 songs in it, which I didn't think was a very good. It kept you playing for about
like 4.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's alright. I mean, I probably will pick this up because I've spent the money on the first one, so might
it's
as
good
well.
to dust off the old turntable.
Indeed. So I thought it was okay, pretty much more the same though. And I played Guitar Hero, the demo for the Warriors of Rock game that's coming out. It was pretty average. It was Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
So if you like Guitar Hero,
by Warriors of Rock, it's Guitar Hero. Then let's see what else. I played the trial for Plants vs Zombies.
Oh yeah, I played that as well.
Yeah, pretty cool. I kind of enjoyed it actually.
Yeah, it's one of those addictive puzzle games.
Yeah, but to begin with, you're like, there's not whatever, and then you start playing, and you're like, I kind of like this. So yeah,
it has some quite nice sort of comedy touches.
Indeed. Yeah, I will say this though, I don't think it's worth the 1,200 point price tag.
No,
like a lot of arcade games that are coming out, I don't think it's worth the full price. But I did enjoy it. I kind of thought it was alright, and
I think maybe for about 800 points.
Possibly, right. Yeah. I may get it if I see it cheap or whatever. So played a bit of that, enjoyed it. What else played? Oh, what did we play today? That King of Fighters Sky
thingy. We
can't fucking whatever.
That made no sense.
It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, and it's 800 points. Not worth it. Anyway, let's not wait. There's a waste of time talking about it.
That's
so
799 points, pretty much.
Yeah. So, obviously yesterday we had a bit of time with Halo Reach. We recorded the episode that went up yesterday, and I got a little bit of time with the Halo Reach multiplayer last night.
Oh, good.
It's kind of my first experience with Halo Online, so it was a little bit daunting. I was like, this is the first time I kind of played this online. It kind of just dawned to me, but it was alright. I kind of enjoyed it. I did okay. I did get my ass handed to me a little bit, but to that's to be expected.
Yeah.
But overall, I kind of enjoyed it. I liked it, and it's not something I'm going to rush into again. I'll explain why in a bit, but yeah, I think this is a game I'm probably going to sort of try and play when things calm down again next year.
Yeah.
You know, when you get the quiet period
Yeah.
that we've sort of just had, I think that's when I'm going to try and play Reach. But yeah, the multiplayer was fine. What we played of it yesterday was good. You know, sort of mixed opinions about it.
Obviously, you don't have enough. Well, we don't have a lot of experience with the multiplayer.
I mean, if you're interested,
so you can't tell what's new. Or not.
I mean, if you're interested in hearing our thoughts on the first hour of Reach, obviously download yesterday's episode. I think I'm still feel it's a bit hit and miss for me, but I think it's something I will play through, just because we've got it, and you know, why not? You know, it's there. I might as well play through it, and just to see what the whole thing's like. But a little bit hit and miss for me, but I will play through it at some point.
Yeah.
And
I'd like to maybe give it a go, but my experience of the Halo multiplayer was I got the Halo 3 multiplayer beta.
We bought Crackdown, didn't you?
Yeah. And got into that, and the first time I played it, I kicked ass. I killed everybody. I was really, really good. A couple of hours later, put it in, played it again. Arse handed to me every time. Couldn't even get one kill. So
yeah, that happens.
yeah.
Then to top it all off, I've done something that I said I probably wouldn't do a few weeks ago. I said I wouldn't play Fallout 3.
Oh, but it's calling to you.
But yesterday I kind of was like, between Halo Reach and everything, I was like, I do kind of want to play Fallout 3. And because, I mean, if anyone doesn't know, my console died while I was playing for it, and my game save got totally screwed. And I was about halfway through the main sort of missions and stuff, quests. Sorry, and I just couldn't be fucked to go back and do it all again. that's no, to be honest. And so for a while now, it doesn't mean I haven't wanted to. It's just that whole starting right from the beginning again.
Yeah,
you love that kind of shit, but me, I don't like it so
I'm
much.
a serial starter.
I will play a game through, and then if I thought, I can play this through again, I'll then start again, but only once I've finished it, sort of thing.
Yeah, I
don't get partway through and go, I'm going to start this again. So this time I've started Fallout 3 again, and
I have to admit, I started playing it again a little while ago, and I stopped playing it. But after seeing you play it today, I'm kind of tempted to put it back in.
Yeah.
And have another razz on it.
Yeah. And also, this time around I'm doing things different. I'm being a bit of a cock to everybody. I'm being an arsehole.
Oh, art imitates life.
Yeah. so basically, I thought I'd be sort of like more of an evil character. So I've been cool, like, I've been busting into people's houses and shooting them.
Yeah. That's sort of the side of it I've not seen.
Stealing the glasses and things, you know.
Yeah. That's because I've tried being an arsehole in it. But I just feel too bad.
It took me a while to begin with, actually. Right at the beginning, I was like, while I was still in the vault, I was like, I don't want to be nasty to these people. But then, like, some of them you just got, didn't you? And I was like, yeah, fuck it, sod it. So,
give me my sweet roll, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. And then you spit on it. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. So I'll obviously we've got games coming out. We're reaching the sort of point in the year now where shit's just going to keep coming. There's going to be so much stuff coming out week after week after week. It's going to be hard for me to find the time for Fallout 3. So it's really a shit time for me to restarting it because New Vegas comes out at the end of next month.
I know.
And I know I'm going to want to be playing that as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll see how I get on with this because it's going to take me a long time to play through it. Because I've got all the DLC as well because I've got the Game of the Year edition. So it's like, I want to do all of it, but it's going to take a while.
I think also you have quite a lot more self-control than I do because Fallout 3 is definitely one of those, mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, the 5 more minutes factor.
Yeah.
Where you can get stuck into it and you can spend a lot of time.
Oh, believe me, there was that last night before I went to bed. I was just like, I just want to play through a little bit more. Yeah, so it definitely has that about it.
Oh, get as much done as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think that's pretty much what we've been playing.
Yeah, that covers it, I think.
Join us after the break when we'll be talking about this week's news. Welcome back to the Games4all podcast. We're now going to talk about this week's news, and there is a lot of it.
Yep.
Biggest event of the week is...
What might that be?
It's the Halo Reach launch.
Okay.
Now, all over the world, they've been having like big launch parties and everything, so like advertising it, doing everything in our very own London, capital city, home of the Queen. God bless her soul.
Mm.
We had a Spartan on a jetpack.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty British of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
That's pretty much all that happened, though, isn't it? They just sort of stand around. One got on a jetpack and then flew about for like 10 seconds and then landed.
Yeah. You know, talking about it, it's not that impressive when you actually see it happening.
It's alright, but there were no fireworks or nothing else, or they were just standing there.
But the dude was on a jetpack.
It was kind of cool, but it was like it's so typically British and lackluster. It's
pretty much.
It's just funny. It's just funny because like people were like watching this dude fly for like 10 seconds, and they went, "It wasn't that amazing." It's like, yeah, it was all right. It was just all right. It wasn't that amazing, but yeah, okay. Sorry to shit on your news, but it wasn't that great.
Nobody else had a jetpack.
No, I know.
Well, they might have had a jetpack. I don't know. I've not been paying too much attention. I just thought.
But anyway, everywhere's been doing some Halo Reach stuff. There's been, I think, like, because obviously I've been keeping track of Twitter and things like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been saying how massive these Halo launch parties have been.
Yeah.
And it kind of like every time there's a Halo game, the launch parties are stupidly good, and so much money spent on them that it kind of makes that people realise how a launch party should be done, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because obviously the last one would have been for like Mafia 2 or something, and there were several for that, I do believe. And I don't even know if they were anywhere near as good, but apparently they weren't.
No. Halo is kind of like, it is the mascot of the Xbox.
Yeah.
Really, it is the Sonic of this day and age, the Mario of this day and age, which we'll come to later.
Yep.
But yeah, so we always knew it was going to be huge.
Yeah.
No matter what. And it was.
Excellent. So big launch parties, everyone had fun, and
lots of people bought the game. It's probably gonna...
jelly and ice cream and jetpacks.
Jetpacks.
Cool.
God, I want a jetpack.
Mm.
Anyway, moving on. Not a big fan of Resident Evil.
Really?
What is it?
Afterlife.
That's the one. See?
Yeah, well, I saw it.
Yeah.
Wish I hadn't.
Really?
Not that good.
Really
anyone,
bad.
go on the news. This is more movie news, but it is game related.
It's game related news, but you might not have liked it, but it did reach number 1 in the American box office.
Oh, okay.
So
therefore, I changed my opinion about it completely.
No. Stick with your opinion.
Yeah.
But I just think it sort of goes to show that I think of all like the movie game. Of all the video game movie tie-in type things,
it is the most successful.
The most successful, and there is definitely going to be a 5th Resident Evil film.
Yeah.
Oh joy of joys! Will you be watching that?
Sadly, yes, probably will be. And I'll probably actually get my hopes up again and think, oh, that looks pretty good, and then my hopes will be completely crushed in probably the opening few minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
talk about the next bit of news. Yeah. This is some exciting shit.
Yeah. Go on, I'll let you do it. I'll let you be host.
No, I'm just talking about it. It's no secret that I like my survival horror games.
Yeah.
I like Dead Space.
Yeah.
I loved Dead Space.
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
And since Dead Space 2 has been announced and we've seen stuff about it at E3 and that, I've been very excited for this game. Now, EA and Visceral Games unveiled some of the multiplayer side of it, because they did announce a multiplayer side to Dead Space 2.
Yeah.
And they're very, very coy about what that was. They didn't say anything really about what it was. And so, they came out and said, well, we announced multiplayer, this is what it is. Basically, it's kind of similar to Left 4 Dead's multiplayer.
Yeah.
Where you have the whole kind of sort of team deathmatch type scenario, let's just say. But you've got one team who are playing as the engineers.
Yeah.
With, all their tools / weapons. And then you have the necromorphs, who are obviously the mutated alien motherfuckers. And you can play as them. And there's several different types that you can play as. And yeah, it looks really, really fun. And the whole thing about you have to stick together because if you're getting attacked, there's only so much you can do to...
Yeah.
You have to rely on your friends around you to kind of shoot them away from you.
So you can only really sort of take on one at a time.
Yeah, exactly. So that got me very excited. I think I'm obviously excited for like the Call of Duty Black Ops multiplayer. This, I think, is the other multiplayer I think I'll be playing. Obviously, I won't be playing this until next year because it doesn't come out till like February, I do believe.
Which is such a shame because it would have made the perfect Halloween game.
I know. Well, the first one came out at the end of October, and it was.
Yeah.
I remember going out and buying it, and I was like, oh, you know, sitting alone in the dark room playing it, and I was fucking loving the shit out of it. So the fact that it was like that time of year kind of helped in some respects, in a weird way. So it does seem a bit weird that it's not coming out next month because it does look pretty amazing at the moment.
Yeah, it's looking fairly polished.
Yeah, so it's a shame, really. They've missed a bit of a trick there, but I'm excited for this game. I love the first Dead Space, and we will probably be doing some kind of video of Dead Space 2 when it comes out. I'm sure we will anyway. And this multiplayer news is fantastic. I think I can really get into it. So.
That's awesome. Like I said, I'm probably not going to play it because I don't play scary games because
You're a pussy.
I'm a pussy. But yeah, there's part of me that says sort of single player games and the sequels having multiplayer. It's like, oh, is it going to take away from the story? Oh, is it going to do that? But obviously, you'll give us your thoughts and feelings.
I actually think in this example, it's. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fairly balanced on both ends of the spectrum. I think the multiplayer and the single player will work quite well. They've gone to an effort to try and make it a believable because they've said straight out they don't want this whole thing where you can have engineers versus engineers, a scenario that would never happen. And they've based it in situations where like the engineers' basic aim of the multiplayer match is to get to an escape pod or something, or activate something. Yeah, there's an actual mission involved. There's objectives involved. And obviously, if you're playing as a necromorph, it's your job to stop them or hold them off for a 5-minute period or whatever it is. When the time runs out, if they haven't achieved the objective, they lose. So,
oh no, that does sound pretty cool.
Yeah, it does sound pretty cool. So I'm loving how Dead Space 2 is shaping up. Excited.
Okay. Well, talking about the Black Ops multiplayer.
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah. I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
A lot of people are these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's people there.
Anyway, Call of Duty Black Ops. They're getting 2 versions in Japan.
Yes, I did hear about this.
They're getting a subtitled version and a dubbed version.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a lot of controversy about Modern Warfare.
Yeah, well, it's the big thing is that I think since Modern Warfare 2 came out, Square Enix are publishing it over there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, as well with Activision.
Yeah.
So it's kind of been given this lease of life in the Japan.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Good. But yeah, it's been rated 0Z, which I think is the adults only rating.
Right.
But unlike a lot of places, they will actually be able to sell. Like, I don't think you can buy adult only content in like most normal retailers throughout America.
Right. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
But no, they will be selling. But they are still censoring it.
Yeah, there's it's to do with the limbs coming off and loss of limbs and that.
Yeah.
That's something that I think I did mention this before. Treyarch sort of make slightly gorier Call of Duty games.
Yeah.
I remember in World at War. Yeah, that's what it's called. You can shoot limbs and stuff off, and you get lots of blood spray, and it's not something you see. You always sort of see it from a distance. It's never really like right in your face, like sort of thing, blood in your face, like that. But if you set in weapons and shot the guys and like enemies in a certain place, they would lose legs and stuff, and it was quite horrific. So it's no surprise to me that that sort of content is going to be in Black Ops, but it is kind of surprising to me that Japan's censoring it.
Yeah,
given that they've given it such a high rating, and I
mean this is the sort of thing that I would expect of like Australia, that's renowned for censoring games.
Well, possibly even Germany, to be honest. Yeah.
But really surprising, but hopefully it won't change the game too much, and hopefully they'll still enjoy it. I mean,
I think it's just a tweak to the code. It's not going to be anything,
Yeah.
Who knows? They might put a cheat in there so you can enable it again. That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be nice.
But yeah. Sort of a bit surprised, but then in a way, like a lot of countries are like that. They will. I mean, when you get games like, I'd expect this more of like a GTA kind of game. Though. Yeah. Censorship of games. Yeah. But fair enough.
This is from
it's getting a release, so
Yeah. I mean, Japan, that brought us Resident Evil. It brought us Yakuza, which is another sort of fairly violent.
Yeah, it does seem a bit odd that they're doing this, but yeah.
Oh well. Also, news from Japan. There's been a lot of screenshots and showing off of the Nintendo 3DS.
Yep.
Sort of
I haven't seen any of these screenshots,
No?
so you're best to explain this.
It is looking powerful.
Cool.
Obviously, some of the screenshots, they look a bit sort of jaggedy and everything, but you've got to think that they will be on a much smaller
Well, yeah,
display.
I don't think people expect exactly like crystal clear,
No.
like HD graphics or anything.
No, but they're saying games like Dead or Alive and Street Fighter 4 and Resident Evil Revelations, which I think is pretty much the same sort of engine as Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
All seen sort of screenshots for them, seeing ways that can show like the high dynamic range, depth of field, normal mapping, cell shadowing, motion blur, sort of things you could kind of expect from sort of the main consoles, really,
Yeah, the big boys.
the big boys.
Well, that's really interesting, actually.
Yeah, I have to say, especially with the Resident Evil games, you cannot tell a lot of the difference. Obviously, it's slightly blurrier and smaller, but it looks pretty similar to
Excellent.
the Xbox and PlayStation version of Resident Evil.
Really?
It's looking really, really powerful. Much more
Excellent.
powerful than the PS3. And Street Fighter 4, they're saying, it's supposed to be the most faithful sort of handheld port
Yeah.
of it that there is.
Excellent.
So,
Well, that's good. I mean, I'm sort of intrigued into how this. I want to see this when it comes out, obviously. So any 3DS news, I'm intrigued in. But the fact that people are saying, because I did read something about people saying how amazing the games are looking, how much more they get, how much juice they're getting out of the DS.
when it was like shown at E3, they had like tech demos of it, and they had PlayStation 2 games things running on it. I think it was Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, which was arguably one of the best looking PS2 games unveiled, and it was running on this tiny little thing.
Just goes to show what
Yeah,
it's an altogether different creature to the other DSs.
yeah. And especially as this is utilising the glasses-less 3D technology. I mean, obviously you'll be able to switch that on and off, and I think things like HDR and cell shadowing, everything, I think they're disabled when it's in 3D mode. But it looks good. They show a lot of screenshots showing like with and without, and you can see the difference and everything, but they both look good.
Yeah,
They look amazing. Sort of some slight news or rumour about the release date as well.
Yeah.
I think it was suggested that the release date would be before April 2011.
Yeah.
There have now been some like hints from like the developers on like their Twitter accounts of a possible November 2010 release in Japan.
Well, I mean that would make sense because we said all along that this really should be out before Christmas.
Yeah.
But Japan is always going to get it before we will, or before the US. So, yeah, I think
Hopefully
it's
we're
a
not
little
gonna
bit.
be
I don't
far
think. I
behind.
don't think it's not going to be out for holiday season. Let's just say
No.
here in the US.
But it's maybe looking like it could be April next year for us.
Well, that's not too bad.
No.
That's not too bad.
But I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on it. I'm most probably going to pick one up.
Excellent. Yeah, well, hopefully it'll be worth your while.
Yeah.
Sounds like it will be.
And have you noticed how I'm sort of like tying the stories in? Because we've got some more Nintendo news.
Oh, see what you did there.
Super Mario Brothers on the NES.
Yep.
Classic game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, brilliant.
25 years old.
That's fantastic. Well, that's like... I mean, obviously there are games that are older, but like...
That was like the first of the sort of mainstream home console games, really. I mean, before that you had games like sort of Pong and...
Well, Donkey Kong actually
yeah.
was on a lot of different Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Those were on a lot of...
But they were mostly like arcade titles that would come to home console.
Yeah.
This was the first kind of exclusively home console game.
25 years.
Yeah. And
Crazy.
the fact that... How much has it changed in the last 25 years? Let's be honest.
Quite a lot.
Well, graphically, but...
Yeah, graphically, but not... I mean, yes and no. I mean, when you think about it, you know... I've said this before, but like Mario's made the transition from 2D to 3D really rather well, and back to 2D again, obviously, quite recently.
I think that is because most of the time they've tried to like stay true to the original idea of it, and they've not tried to deviate too much. I mean, where Sonic has sort of tried and failed in many cases, I think it's just because they've tried to do too many different things with him that's not really suited it. Whereas Mario has always been at its core,
Yeah, it's been pretty
the
faithful
same
to the
or
original
similar game.
Well, that's great. well, happy birthday to Mario.
I also think it's weird that the most beloved Japanese mascot is a dungaree-wearing Italian plumber.
Yeah. Excellent.
The world is crazy. Anyway, also celebrating a birthday is the original PlayStation.
Yes.
15 years old.
yeah.
I remember when that came out.
I remember that too, and it's quite mad to think back that it's 15 years. PlayStation's been alive for 15 years. What's interesting though, the PlayStation actually came out of a disc add-on that was planned for the Super Nintendo.
I know, yeah.
Pretty mad.
Yeah,
So
and
then Philips as well.
It comes from a time when the transition to games on CD was slightly more daunting. Everybody was like wanting to stay with their cartridges, and Nintendo pulled out, I think, so they were getting scared.
They pulled out, and then they made the N64,
which was stuck with cartridges, and I think maybe they might regret it a little bit.
Possibly,
considering how well Sony has done with it. But I think sort of similar time the Sega Saturn came out. Obviously, we know, although it was a great machine, had some great games, it didn't do as well.
Yeah,
I know, us being devout Sega fanboys at the time, I think we can now kind of accept.
Oh, we can admit it. Yeah, it was a big.
It was hard for a lot of gamers to like transition from cartridges to CDs, because others had like tried and failed. What the Atari Jaguar?
Yeah, Atari Jaguar was. I think there's only 16 games available for that.
Yeah,
and 16 of them were dog shit. So
yeah. But,
they were bloody awful.
But PlayStation came in. It was really the first one to like be really successful with CD games, and it kind of changed the way that games and consoles were developed.
Yeah, I agree. Well, that's pretty cool.
And talking of old PlayStations, see, I really have tried to sort of tie everything together in the news stories.
Oh no, yes.
Good. But earlier this week, I remember talking ages ago, we were talking about PS2 games being re-released for the PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
And how basically, rather than making ways of making the PlayStation 3 backwards compatible, they were going to compile games and kind of like upgrade and upscale the graphics and everything. One of the games that have been coming out, there's been so many fans calling out for it, was Ico and Shadow of the Colossus by Team Ico, which were kind of like, well, cult classics on the PlayStation 2. People have been crying out for them for an HD remake and release, and earlier on this week, Walmart over in America started accepting pre-orders for this compilation. Early today, I think, Sony announced that it was happening, and now I'm very, very happy.
I think, the rumour about this has been around for a little while, hasn't it? And I don't think there was ever a shadow of a doubt that this wasn't going to happen.
Or Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, very good. I was waiting for that. But the news is that it's now been actually officially announced, and this is happening.
Yeah.
So that's great. I mean, I think they've done this before, like the God of War stuff. They've found success with that on PS3, and I think they're just going to continue to do that, and I think it's a good thing. Yeah. I think it's a very good thing, and especially, why not? Why not?
Especially I think it also ties in because with the God of War games, God of War 3 was coming out, and you couldn't play the original games on the system that the third one was coming out, so they released that there so you could have the trilogy on one console. Obviously, Team Ico is working on The Last Guardian, which we know from the previous games from Ico and Shadow of the Colossus is going to be like an artwork piece. It's going to be an amazing game, no matter what. So the fact that you'll be able to have the whole collection of their games on the same console will also probably do great things to boost sales.
Brilliant.
But also, having said that, Sony Japan have filed a patent for a new generation console to previous generation console adapter, which kind of looks like it will be like a little device that you can plug in, and it'll make you able to play PS2 games on PS3.
Yeah, I think this is something that when the PlayStation came out, obviously there was support for it. Yeah. But a lot of people complained because it really didn't do a very good job of upscaling PS2 games.
No.
And when they wanted to make the PlayStation 3, they wanted to sell it at a cheaper price point. They had to lose some stuff, like the SD card slots, the extra USB ports, things like that. And obviously, the backwards compatibility, that lost out as well. And since then, I think people have been like wanting it back, and it's just been this whole we want it, we don't want it, we can't be bothered, or and Sony don't know where they stand with it. But giving people the choice, I think, is a good thing. It's always a good thing. It's never a bad thing. So if there is some kind of adapter, as long as it's not going to cost too much, I can't see it being a problem.
Now, I myself a little bit sceptical.
Why so?
Well, because about a year ago, they also filed a patent or something, I think, which was a way of by way of a firmware update, kind of like adapting a chip that was already in the PS3 that could make it so it could play PS2 games. And that was kind of like the big thing. That was going to be the whole, finally we'll be able to play PS2 games on it. But that never materialised.
Yeah.
And now, as they've started kind of re-releasing PS2 games on Blu-ray compilation things, making money out of them that way, maybe they're just patenting it so nobody else can make it.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? I mean, I think it would be a kind of a good thing if it does happen. A lot of people are keeping their PlayStation 2s.
Yeah.
Because they have games that they really want to keep and want to play again.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame them,
Hopefully, because if they do release this, at least, as opposed to like the firmware update or software update or whatever it was that could do it with that, at least with this they'll be able to make some money out of it.
True.
And do that.
I think the whole firmware thing you're talking about didn't work out, and they have to rely on the hardware.
Yeah.
To actually emulate the PlayStation 2. Yeah. So it makes sense.
But it'll be nice
whether it surfaces or not. We'll see.
Yeah. It's nice giving people the choice. I mean, if you already have all the games on PS2, you don't have to rebuy them.
Exactly. Just get an adapter.
And for those
give
people,
Sony a few quid.
And for those people who don't have the PS2 games, a chance to buy or rebuy them if they got rid of them and play them.
Rediscover them.
Yeah, because it's undeniable that I think PS2 has probably been the most successful console to date.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
And there are a lot of games out there, a lot of gamers who still have the games there for them. So
indeed,
that's good.
It is.
It's good.
It's very good.
Also, more news.
Wow, getting a lot of news?
I know. Did you like the original Grand Theft Auto trilogy?
You mean
Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice
City, and San Andreas? Indeed, I did.
Indeed, you did. Do you have a Mac?
I have, and I'm actually getting a new one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, see.
Getting an iMac.
So. That's
Might be interested in something a little GTA coming my way, possibly.
Well, it's lucky then that there are now plans to release the classic Grand Theft Auto trilogy on the Mac.
Excellent, good stuff. I've noticed though, more lately, Macs have been taken a bit more seriously as gaming computers.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you drop a good ground on a decent iMac, you kind of expect it to play some games.
Yeah.
Now they've got the decent processors, they've got really good graphics cards in them. Why would people not make game? I mean, Steam, you can get Steam on the Mac now, and I know it's only like a 2% share of people, 2 to 5% share of people downloading stuff through Steam on Mac, but still, there are gamers out there who want to play shit on the Mac, and I might be one of them, to be fair.
To be quite honest, I've never sort of seen why it's not taken off on the Mac. I mean, the good thing about Macs over PCs is they're more sort of standardised. You've got certain options, and you know what you're getting, and all the hardware and graphics and processors, they're all pretty standard as you buy them in packages and everything. Whereas PCs, you kind of get built, they're made of all sorts of things, and sometimes you have to worry about, is my graphics card good enough? Is my processor good enough? And with Macs, you know what you can get. It's more sort of like it is with consoles. You know, if you buy a PS3 game, you know it will run on
a PS3 game. Yeah, exactly.
But what I found, and I think this is what killed PC gaming for me, is if I bought a PC game, I had no idea whether I could actually play it or not.
Exactly. Yeah, true.
And sort of Macs sort of seem to have that.
They are a little bit more standardised. It is easy to say, I can buy this game. It will play on my computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a bit more confidence when you go out and buy something. I'll admit that. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, why not? GTA is a successful franchise. I mean, bloody hell, there's you can get bloody Call of Duty on Mac, Yeah. Why shouldn't you get GTA? I'm up for this. Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the original
Yeah.
GTA trilogy.
So,
And if I had a Mac, I probably would buy them and play them
indeed, yeah.
again.
So
In the meantime,
I may
I'll
get
just
this.
come
I
around
may
yours.
get this, and I may talk about it on the show when
Awesome.
it comes out. Is there any idea of a release date on this?
No, it's
Okay.
just been announced that it's happening.
Okay, fair dues. Right.
Yeah. You know, the
We'll
game.
wait and see what happens.
The game is there. They just need to get it running on the Mac. So I don't imagine it'll take long. It's not
Probably
as if
not.
it's
No.
all
They're building
gonna
it
be
from the
in
ground
there.
up. Yeah. Excellent.
So we're looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, I am. Yeah, definitely.
Another game I'm looking forward to. I think you're looking forward to it as well. Is Fallout New Vegas.
Yes, I am actually. You're right.
Yeah.
Being as I'm playing Fallout 3 at the moment.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about that quite a lot. But
I reckon so.
as we're getting fairly close to release date now,
Yes,
they're
don't
kind
remind
of-
me. Don't keep reminding me.
they're doing all the little bits to try and like advertise it and drum up interest, and they're doing the hype rounds.
Yeah.
They have released new rules for a new game that will be in it, because obviously it's set in Vegas. There's going to be gambling, there's going to be slot machines, there's going to
Oh yes.
be craps, there's going to be poker. They've got their own game in there called Caravan,
Okay.
which is kind of like a head-to-head blackjack game.
All right. Cool.
And they're sort of thinking, you know, get you in the mood for it, let's release the rules.
Cool.
So the rules are now out there. Obviously, with the collector's edition of the game, you will get a set of personalised, well, I say personalised, but Fallout New Vegas cards,
Yeah.
and some like gambling chips and everything. So I have a feeling that these rules will probably tie into that game. You can play it outside, but
Brilliant.
it seems pretty complicated to me. I mean, I was looking
Yeah.
over the rules, and
All right. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not that excited about this now.
but I think it's a good way of kind of like, yeah, here are the rules. You can learn how to play the game. So when you actually get the game,
Yeah.
you'll
have
you'll
to
know
figure
what
out.
you're
You
doing.
just kind of jump in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which is cool. Which is, you know, obviously it's like given out for free, so it doesn't cost anything. But it's like it is drumming up interest. It is
Yeah.
the people who are interested. It's keeping them busy doing that, and it's sort of keeping it on the radar. Really, not
Yeah.
that it's
Not that's really dropped from my radar. I mean, this game's coming out end of next month, so
I was really just using this story as an excuse to talk about it.
that's what I
have to
figured.
be
I figured, yeah.
completely honest. I am so excited.
Yeah, I'm. Wow, I want to get through Fallout 3, but yeah, we will be talking about Vegas on the show, New Vegas on the show, and there will be a video to go with it.
I'm doing the video, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yay!
So, all right, mate, calm down.
Okay, sorry.
Is that the news?
That, I think, is the news.
Bloody hell!
Well, we're going to take another break now. It seems
Yeah.
like a long time since the last one.
It does. I need another drink.
Okay, I'll get you a drink. You listeners out there, sort of keep listening or go get a drink yourself.
Enjoy the beverage.
Yeah, a nice cold beverage or a hot beverage or tea or coffee. We don't discriminate.
See you after the break.
Welcome back to part 3 of the Games4all podcast. We're going to talk about this week's new releases. We're not going to have a topic this week.
No, we've had so much news, and there's actually quite some big releases this week. So
Yeah, we're
we've
just going to
dropped
get on with
dropped it
those.
for the week. Go on.
Okay. First of all, this is games coming out on the 17th
Okay.
for our 17th show.
Mhm.
Spooky coincidence?
Not really.
Not really care.
Not really. No.
Okay. First off, on my list of new releases is Two Worlds 2 coming out on the Xbox 360, PS3 and PC. Did you
Okay.
play Two Worlds?
Let me think. No, I did not. No,
I
didn't do
did.
that.
And
And
know my thoughts?
did you regret it?
Poor Man's Oblivion.
Okay, fair dues.
Not really that excited.
Surprised it spawned a sequel.
Yeah, actually. But, you know, it might do well. There were people who bought it. They might go out and buy it hoping this one's better. And
Be very disappointed when they find out it isn't.
well, it might be better.
It may be, but you know, yeah,
It's not of interest.
I'm not too fussed.
Game coming out for the DS that I'm quite interested in is called Last Window: The Secret of Cape West.
Okay.
You have no idea what this is about. do you?
No, I don't. No,
Well, it's a
no.
sequel to another DS game called Hotel Dusk, Room, Can't remember the number.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
That didn't come out that long ago.
It doesn't seem that long ago, but it was quite a lot.
Was it?
Long ago? Yeah.
Alright.
It's one of these kind of adventure, mystery, puzzle games.
Alright.
It was quite well. It had a nice sort of film noir feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, sequel's always good. More of the same. So I might be picking that up. If I do, I will tell you more about it. If I don't, we probably never hear about it again.
Possibly. I'm thinking it'd probably be the latter.
Probably.
Yeah. What else we got coming out?
Oh, nothing very exciting.
Not lots of stuff for PlayStation Move, I do believe.
Well, yeah, if you're really into that sort of thing.
Let's just go for it. So what you got? What you got? What's coming out for Move? Because now Move's out in the open.
Move is with us. You'll be getting, obviously, I think we detailed all the prices on the hardware and...
Yeah, we did talk about it a few shows back, or it might have been a month or so back. Yeah. But we did.
So I'm not going to go over the prices again. If you really want to know what the prices are, find the show.
You've got the internet.
Yeah.
Google.
Precisely.
Go on play.com. They got it. Oh shit!
But we can list some.
We will. Go on.
We will list some of the games coming out with it. We've got Sports Champions: Move.
Is that like Wii Sports?
Possibly.
That's funny. Everyone's doing the sports thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not surprising.
But Sports Champions: Move.
All
We've got Racket Sports: Move.
Wait. They got their own tennis game.
Yeah.
I just call it tennis.
Because it's racket sports. There might be squash. There might be some badminton. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see what you're getting.
Right.
It's just basic variations of games that require a racket to play.
Yes.
Is there a racket add-on for the Move?
No. Well, it might be.
Oh.
I've not seen one.
Okay.
There probably will be. There always are.
Some shitty third-party thing that you end up throwing at your television.
You sort of think if sort of add-ons, they might get in the way of the lollipop head.
Possibly.
Thing.
Okay. What else?
Start the Party: Move.
I know what this.
Maybe.
I know what this episode is going to be called.
What?
Colon.
Go
on.
Move.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm guessing some kind of Start the Party: Move is some kind of party games.
Yeah.
Type thing.
Out of interest, is iPet: Move coming out?
Yes, it is. That's probably like the only main title.
Yeah. How about Kung Fu Rider: Move? Is that coming out?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
See, I'm trying to talk more here, dude. I'm trying to explain what the release is.
Okay. No, sorry. I'm just. It's not that I'm not bothered about it, but I'm just. Go on.
Well, iPet Move. Obviously,
so you went out. You've got iPet, haven't you?
Yeah, but I'm not going to have it for much longer. I'm probably going to trade it in next month.
Okay.
Or the month after.
You should have done this shit already because this new Move version is coming out.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to bother buying that. To be quite honest.
No, you're probably not. I'm just saying.
But
you should have sold it before this come out.
I know.
You get more money for it then.
Well, I've still got a couple of days.
Okay. All right. So, what's different about the Move version? What the fuck has that got to do?
Well,
it recognises the lollipop heads.
Yeah, with the iPad, you get like this card that you have to hold up facing the camera, and it recognises that and does that. I'm presuming with the Move, it just recognises the lollipop head.
And you have to buy a whole new version of it to do that.
Looks that way.
What the fuck? Okay, Kung Fu Rider: Move. What's that?
I'm guessing it's some sort of kung fu motorcycling game.
Is it?
No.
Kung Fu motorcycle game. It's like a reimagining of Road Rash.
Yeah.
So that'd be pretty sweet. No,
probably not.
Do you know what this is then?
No.
Okay then. So thanks for downloading.
They're just Move
games.
Games4all
podcast, a show where no one knows what the fuck they're talking about.
Let's be honest. Games with Move functionality that we're looking forward to. Shit, what's that one?
Personally, for me, none of them, because I don't own a PS3. But I imagine you're interested in Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain.
Possibly Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
And
Sorcery.
You didn't just fucking say that, did you?
I kind of joked it. I'm sorry, it was in poor taste.
Okay, it was.
I apologise.
You need to slap after this show. Okay, well, I think it's time that you wrap the show up since you're hosting.
Yes.
because that's all the releases. We don't have a topic.
No, that's pretty much it. Well, thank you for bearing with me and us.
It's been interesting. That's all
It
I'm gonna
has
say.
been an experience.
Indeed.
I think you're going to kind of not be so eager for me to host next time.
I don't mind. I think it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm going to mention something quickly. Next week's show is going to be all about Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of happening sort of now-ish.
Yeah.
Nothing's really been said yet as of this recording, but as of the time of this recording, should I say. But obviously stuff's going to be announced between now and next week. So
You
next
can
week's show is
imagine
going to be cram-packed
yeah.
full of more news about Tokyo Game Show stuff.
A lot of news from companies like Capcom and Square Enix.
It is like, I think it's like the last big games convention of the year. I don't think there's any more, to be honest.
No.
I'm not that I can remember. But so TGS is sort of upon us, and we will be talking about that next week.
Awesome.
And yeah, so I imagine next week's show will be packed full of stuff.
Yeah, make sure you tune in next week for our show. You can find us
only
on
one show next week. There's not two like there was this week.
Okay, and you will be hosting next week's show.
Indeed. Thanks to anyone who downloaded the Halo Reach show. If you haven't, you might as well. Everyone else has.
Yeah.
You don't want to be alone here. So thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for your support. Please feel free to email us, podcast@games4allpodcast.com. We're on Twitter. Would you like to give out that address?
Twitter.com/Games4all.
Indeed. We're also on Facebook. You can just search for us, Games4all Podcast. Keep Games4all as one word, podcast as a separate word, and you should be fine. Should be easy enough to find us. Please friend us on there or like us, whatever.
Of course, you can listen to our shows on the temporary website.
That is www.games4allpodcast.com. That uses the number 4, not the word 4. Yeah. So
the new site will be coming up on the 1st of November.
Yeah, that's true.
Until then, we've got sort of links, RSS feeds to all the shows so far.
Yeah, you can still download and listen to all the shows on the website. We've just got the temporary thing at the moment, just one page. Our Ustream channel's embedded in there as well. So when we do these live shows, which we're going to mention in a minute, you'll be able to listen to it on there. Those dates are September the 30th, so in a few weeks' time.
Which will be our sort of console.
That's the console lineup. We're going to take each console, and we're going to talk about the games that we're going to be most excited to play, or the games that are coming out this holiday season, the big titles for those games. We're going to talk in depth about them.
Yep.
That's going to go out live at 7 p.m-ish, I do believe. That's UK time.
Yep.
GMT.
GMT.
So, feel free to work that out on World Clock, what that's going to be in your country or whatever. Please listen to... obviously it'll be available as the part of the podcast the day after, but...
it won't be live.
It won't be live. You miss out on all the bits we cut out. Then we've got one on the 28th of October. That's going to be our Halloween special. I've got something planned for that.
Yeah?
You ain't going to like it.
Okay.
But
we won't be playing Dead Space 2.
Nah, it's just Dead Space.
Oh, God.
And Condemned. So.
Oh, dude.
And Condemned 2.
Oh, no. That will be interesting.
Wow.
That'll be roughly the same time, 7 p.m.
Yeah, I'm thinking we might make a video of that as well to go up. Okay, and then obviously the big one, big live show, it's going to go out on Ustream, is the 31st of December. It's going to be our New Year's special, or our sort of roundup of the year, really.
Yep. Look back at not only what games have come out over the last year, but also the all our shows.
We're going to be going through the shows. We're going to be sharing some stuff with you that we weren't really prepared to share with you before, i.e. outtakes and lots of crazy shit that we cut out of the show. We've got some big things planned anyway, so hopefully we'll be also revealing our game of the year.
Yay.
And things like that under different categories as well.
Okay.
So best PS3 game, that kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
So you get the vibe. It's going to be a huge show, about 3 hours long, and there's going to be alcohol involved, so you better listen.
Awesome.
So,
well, I'd like to say thank you for listening. We will see you next week, and look after yourselves.
See you later.